The president is facing a lot of blowback from China, and a potential trade war is on the horizon after announcing plans to impose trade tariffs on imported solar panels. Manila Chan is following the story and joins us with more. The clean energy world is kind of wondering how this is going to play out, because solar was supposed to be the next big shot for the American economy, that there was such opportunity here. How's this playing out?
We are not quite there yet, Ed, believe it or not. This move is actually, though, getting bipartisan support on Capitol Hill. The president sticking to his America First playbook right now. In the surprise move during the third and likely final phases of NAFTA talks, President Trump yesterday announced a blow to China in the way of solar panels and large capacity washing machines. The tariffs will be imposed for the next 4 years, the levies starting at 30%, that'll eventually fall to 15%. The Chinese are none too happy about this.
The U.S. launched an investigation into the safeguard measures on imported solar panels and washing machines and adopted steep tariff on those products as an abuse of trade remedy measures. China is strongly dissatisfied with this. We noted that the relevant moves by the U.S. did not only arouse concerns of many of its trade partners, but also evokes strong opposition from a number of local governments and downstream enterprises at home.
The Trump administration says this tariff is actually on all solar panels being imported to the U.S. However, with China being the biggest producer of panels, this is a big swipe to their manufacturers. 95% of America's solar panels are imported. China may be the world's biggest producer of these crystalline silicon panels, but U.S. markets receive almost half of its imports from Malaysia and South Korea. Both big producers of PV modules, but their production is dwarfed 100 times over by China's output. And one unlikely supporter from the other side of the aisle, Senator Sherrod Brown of Ohio. Today, Senator Brown tweeted this. He said, "Welcome news for thousands of Whirlpool workers in Clyde, Ohio last night whose jobs have been threatened by a surge of cheap washers. This decision supports good American jobs and production, which we know is the best in the world." Now, Senator Brown, a proponent of obviously keeping jobs here for washing machines and solar in his state of Ohio, which boasts 268 companies in his home state with jobs relating to solar production just in that sector. But there are also those who object to this, many actually coming from the solar industry workers themselves here in the United States. They say that solar trade has benefited their industry, driving down price and costs for consumers by more than half what they were just a decade ago. They argue that this might actually force many U.S. companies to shutter their doors as parts costs increase. So to be fair, China both produces and uses the most solar panels in its own domestic market. But as China's foreign affairs spokeswoman said, this move will make trade relations more complicated for the United States, especially across Asia, given that President Trump pulled the U.S. out of the Trans-Pacific Partnership immediately after taking office. And Ed, that's something we've discussed a lot on your show. Moves like that echo a very populist sentiment, killing the TPP, killing TTIP, and now working on NAFTA. That's garnering a lot of good press for Trump, support from progressive left legislators, as well as it's certainly a good look among his core supporters.
Well, Sherrod Brown is with the president on this because this is undercutting manufacturing in his state, and the Chinese are doing state-sponsored manufacturing. It's being done with government money, and we're the free market. So
we have not done the same.
Yeah, no question about it. Thanks, Manila.